I watched Dana White's post-fight
Yep.
press conference where he said it's the shoulder, not the elbow. And then Pantoja's team came out and like, no, it's the elbow. The controversy, if you will, is Joshua Van's celebration.
I think it will be Taira. I'm not sure if it'll be Taira next, though. Let's go ahead and move on. You got Joshua Van and Pantoja. Obviously, there wasn't much to talk about. But what I want to do is not shit on him. He had nothing. Joshua Van. I just saw people going,
people hate his celebration. Dude.
Oh, man, they hated the fact that he was celebrating. Why are you hating on the young man who did all the work that got him into that position? And you should be excited. It wasn't as if like he didn't cause or help cause the elbow or it's actually apparently the shoulder. It looked like the elbow.
No. So here's what happened. Okay. And the only reason I'm going to jump in is because I watched Dana White's post-fight press conference where he said it's the shoulder, not the elbow. And then Pantoja's team came out and like, no, it's the elbow.
Gotcha.
So, and it looked like the elbow. That was an absurd, like we literally saw it go the wrong direction. But yeah, no, Pantoja's team has come out and clear because I saw a lot of people commenting as well because, I mean, you heard Dana White say it, and he had no reason to not tell the truth. That's just what he was told. But Pantoja did come out and say his team came out and said, no, it is the elbow.
All right, let's get into the Pantoja and Van. I know we went through this already, but let's go ahead and do it again. Like, where do you go from here? Obviously, Pantoja's going to be out for a long
let me back up. Let me back up.
Go ahead.
So because the biggest, I don't want to say the elephant in the room, but the controversy, if you will, is Joshua Van's celebration. And I can understand, I see all sides of it because the dude, did he win the fight? Yeah, technically speaking, yes, but he didn't do anything to win that fight. I wrestled in a match where a kid stood up on me, no takedowns in the first round or period. Second period, I was on top. He stood up. I jacked him up. I brought him down. He braced. His arm broke. I win the match. And that was the difference between me going to the finals. I was probably going to lose to him. That was the difference between me going to the finals of the Keene, New Hampshire tournament and not going to the finals. And I went to the finals. I didn't celebrate at all because I was like, God, like that sucks. But I didn't change my life by going to the finals. So I can understand how watching at home, because I had the exact same when my vlog comes out. Maybe it's in there. I don't edit them because I don't have those skills. But I had the same reaction where I was like, dude, get off you're on the turnbuckle. You're like, dude, chill out. And to me, it wasn't, I didn't have an issue with the fact that he was excited. It was more, dude, this dude's arm is facing the wrong direction. Like, just tone it down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, let's not dance over his grave. But then you zoom out, you let it settle in, and it's like, this is just some young guy that changed his life, potentially generational wealth. At the very least, he's going to get to defend the championship on Paramount. Like, a lot of stuff changed for him with one wild fluke injury. He should be allowed to celebrate, but I do think it was a little excessive. Dude, he was on the turnbuckle like
you literally did something. You literally said, like, he's on the turn, and this guy's elbows turned the other way. Bro, guys jump on the turnbuckle all the time when guys are literally stiff and their feet are shaking.
Honestly, like, as insane as it sounds, unconscious is not as crazy as, because unconscious, you wake up a minute later. That elbow's gone. He might literally never fight again. What were your thoughts on the co-main? Like, there wasn't enough fight to give a shit. It was 23 seconds.
But no, my thoughts were this. I saw people going, man, I hate the celebration. What's he celebrating for? He didn't win the title. No, he literally did win the title. He caused that to happen. Now, yeah, sure, Pantoja put his arm down. It happens, man. It's happened in wrestling in high school. It's happening when people ski. Shit, it happened to me when I fought Benson Henderson, but it happened to me with my thumb. Basically call it like skier's thumb. It dislocated and broke my thumb in a bunch of different places. And I could see my thumb. Big John will attest to this because he was the ref. It literally pushed the thumb. My thumbnail was all the way back into my wrist. So it looked like an uncircumcised penis, really, is what my thumb did. It was like just the nail was sticking out from the top, as you could see. And that's it. It was all wrinkled, just skin. And that's exactly what we saw last night. You saw him, it looked like it dislocated and it shifted over. The bones shifted over each other. Probably something broke, I would imagine, or at least fractured. So he's gonna have a long recovery. I'd say at least 6 months, at least. And
Oh,
then
dude.
yeah, I'm thinking more 9 months, to be honest, because the
I
elbow is
think
very
he's gone
fickle.
for a year.
It's very stiff. It's gonna be very hard. Anytime someone grabs a Kimura, it's gonna be like, oh, wait. Like it's gonna be one of those type situations. Kimuras, arm bars, straight arm bars, all of those things will have an effect. He's gonna need full time to recover, especially at what, 35 years old?
He's 35 at a little guy weight class. And you know how it goes? Like, even if you throw a really hard jab or a really hard straight
Yeah.
right and it hits nothing, hitting something is actually good for your body mechanics. You were prepared to hit something, it hit something and it stopped. If you hit nothing, it hyperextend. Like it's
I wouldn't go as
like
far as say it's good,
but you get my point. Like
but it is better than
throw
missing.
yeah, if you hit nothing in a straight,
Yeah.
a hook is a hook. But if you throw straight and hit nothing, that is not good for your elbow.
Yeah.
And like I just, at his age, the way that happened, the way it looked, it sucks for Pantoja because he was on his way to being arguably the best 125 pounder of all time. Statistically speaking, nobody will ever be better than DJ. But once you factor in competition, I have 3 talking points here. 1, what do you do next matchup wise for Van?
Okay.
Dana White basically already said, Dana White's like, he's going to defend, Joshua Van will defend that belt before Pantoja's back. He already said it. 2, what the hell was 2? We'll go to 3 because I can't remember 2. 3.
Can't you just make 3 too? Like,
nope, because I'll think of it. 3 is oh, I got it. 2, do you think that should be a no contest or something other than I agree, but it's an open discussion because a lot of people feel that way. And 3, Demetrius Johnson basically celebrated it, saying, "Oh, my record's still intact."
I mean, I get it. That's like that's like what the 72 Dolphins. They celebrate every year when the last undefeated
team, yeah, you didn't win a Super Bowl, so who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You didn't win the Super Bowl. When the Patriots, when they lost in the Super Bowl, they were all cracking it open. I mean, I think almost of them all passed. There's only like 1 or 2 of them left, I believe. There's not many of the 72 Dolphins left. No, you do not make it a no contest. It was legit. He was the reason why that happened. He caught the kick, elevated, took him off balance. He went to post and dislocated the elbow.
It wasn't an accident.
Yeah, that's no different than that's no different than it when Anderson Silva or Chris Weidman kicked each other and their legs broke. That's no different. Like, hey, I did something and it affected how your body reacted. So no, Joshua Van will have to defend the title. There's no way that Pantoja comes back for 6 to 8 months and he fully recovered and ready to fight. And I think what you do with him from here is, I think you take him. Tatsuro Taira to me is the guy, but isn't it Brandon? Is it Brandon Royval and Manal Kopp? Are they fighting next?
Yeah. They are fighting next, but Dana also in the post-fight press conferences are interesting because Dana's typically like, I don't talk, we discuss these on Tuesdays. I don't talk matchups. And then in this post-fight press conference, he was like, yeah, we're looking to get back to Japan. Probably Tatsuro Taira versus Josh Van. Yeah. So they're probably going to do that. But Tatsuro Taira just lost 2 fights ago. And he's on an interesting run because, and it's its own controversy. We'll get to that fight in a minute. But he lost to Brandon Royval. Then he beats Alex Perez, but he lost the first round on the judges' scorecards, officially lost. And the only reason he won that fight is because Alex Perez had a knee injury. His knee exploded and he was on top. Now, obviously, the Brandon Moreno fight was much better performance. He did well, but kind of an early stoppage. So he's got 3 sort of interesting fights in a row, and he's a shoo-in for the next title shot.
Well, let me explain to you guys this way. There was some sort of negotiation between Ryzen and Japan, basically to get Horiguchi over with the UFC. So their relationship is probably doing pretty well right now because Horiguchi is now back in the UFC. They've had Tatsuro Taira. Who was the other Japanese fighter that came over? The one
I don't know.
Mainly a kickboxer, kind of tall, long, lanky, got taken down and dominated. Oh man, gosh. Anyways,
I can't wait for you to say somebody who's not Japanese.
No, he was the Ryzen champion, I believe. I think he was the one that knocked out Patricio Pitbull when they fought over there.
Oh, you're talking about the dude Pantoja ran through, Kaya Sakura?
Yeah, Kaya Sakura. Yeah. So, anyways, in this position, like Taira is the guy. I think they're going to try to head over to Japan. Like Dana said, we don't have anything written yet. We haven't scheduled anything, but that's obviously something we want to try to do. They've been there for a while. They know the market is there. They also know that Ryzen's doing pretty well over there. Their numbers are huge for Japanese. Yes. Huge.
I thought they don't pay people and it's like a catastrophe.
Look, I don't know.
Or am I confusing them with One FC?
You might be confusing them with one.
Yeah.
But I do know that they are doing really well, but they're also just building up their Japanese fighters. They're making sure that a lot of the almost the whole card is just all Japanese fighters. So of course, people are turning out. When we were out there for Bellator, that Saitama Arena was sold out, packed. It was packed, insane. So there's a market there for them. And you come with Horiguchi and you come with Taira, you come with Asakura, and you have them fight some of the top guys in the UFC. That thing is going to be fucking rocking. I mean, they're very quiet when they're watching the fights, but you understand what I'm trying to say. It's going to be packed. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be a huge event for the UFC, for the fighters, and for Japan. So I'm excited to see how this works out. I think it will be Taira. I'm not sure if it'll be Taira next though. I think it is. You think so? And I'm not opposed to that.
Dana was basically like, we're looking at like he didn't shut it down. He wasn't like, let's see. He was like, probably. Yeah. Because it's another weird division because you can't do Brandon Royval next. Although him and Josh Van had an all-time banger of a fight, so that you could run that back, it could be fun, but they won't do that because they know Royval will just be around.
Yeah.
And Manel Kopp, while he is exciting, he can also be boring and awful. He's not always exciting because he's a counter striker and he's just waiting to be accurate. So sometimes he'll just end up in a staring contest and not engage.
Yeah, there's a lot of like the showboating going around. He lands a shot, does like the funking around, and like it drives me absolutely insane. It does, it really does. But he's so talented. The other thing with him though, he doesn't fight very often.
Cop?
Yeah, like when was the last time he fought?
He beat the piss out of, he beat 9 months? Piss out of a Sue Almabaya, but I don't remember, but he and actually I think he was the problem. He was supposed to fight Brandon Royval at UFC 317. So now they booked him for this.
That's right. Look, Taira, I think I like the idea of him being next. Can they get the promotion set up in Japan in that amount of time? Will it be like an April or May type promotion? That's the best time to go to Japan. It's not too humid. It's not too hot. Perfect time of the year to arrive in Japan to do an event there.